Making a few metres with tacklers around him, up to halfway. Wisner forcing Ben Cockayne across the field, and Wisner one of the first there. Once again the fullback tries to duck under the onrushing tacklers and has almost taken the ball back to the 20. Danny Mills is dropped to the floor by MacDonald. Carl Mills has made a big gap. Wisner manages to keep hold of him, and Halifax fall off the defence. He's a big man. He made a lot of yards there. Did the replacement as Farrell's brought down on the 20. Halifax pinned down in their own quarter of the field with that run from the big replacement. Moana has support on that far side, and Sean Leaf running onto the pass. Lawford, the man that was alert. Moana tries to get the ball away down that far side, and they've got a lucky bounce of Doncaster, but the ball squeezed out, and I'm not sure whether there's a touch of rain in the air. Let's come back to the 10-metre line. Sharif escapes 2 and gets to the 20. Blackwood continues the run and takes the ball up another 15 metre in Halifax's cause. And Doncaster slow to get to the feet. Lawford gives it to MacDonald. MacDonald puts Weiser under all sorts of pressure, and Allride quicks to close him down. MacDonald acknowledges the fact that it was probably a hospital pass and apologises to his captain for putting him in the danger, and now he's trying to make amends, and he's found a gap up the middle as MacDonald. He dragged Mills with him till he finally succumbed just over the halfway line. Wisner once again puts the kick in, not the best one, and the fullback almost losing it as it bounced away from him, but there's a big gap opened up in the middle of the field for the fullback. Has support from Marvin Golden, but Golden's brought down, gets up and has another go, and Halifax once again being pushed back. The fullback looked under all sorts of pressure there as that ball bounced up, but he managed to reach out for it and sped his way through the non-existent Halifax defence. Here comes Mills again, who's probably still trying to get his breath back from that last run, but he's got the pass away. Moana runs at the defence, ball comes loose. No call from the touch judge. Well, there is eventually, and the call is that the ball went forward, and so that's a let off for Halifax, who've stepped aside and let Doncaster run through on a couple of occasions early in this second half.
Cover up, Mousy! Cover up, Mousy!
Blackwood drives the ball away. Quick play the ball. Fisher gives it to Damien Ball. Halifax have men over on this side, and Damien Ball drops a shoulder but can't escape the clutches of Allroyd. Morley takes the ball over halfway. Wisner running at the Doncaster defence again, only into the sizable frame of Gareth Hanford as Lawford drills one through on the floor, looking for the bounce up. Fullback takes it this time, and Bloom puts him down 15 metres away, and Halifax will be looking not to give the easy penalties away as the winger Miles tries a quick scoot to run into the Halifax defenders that were still going back, but the penalty is being given, but it's being given to Halifax. Somebody on that Doncaster side has opened the mouth. Oh, it's got to be 2. It's in range. They've got to take every point they can get of Halifax, knowing what happened 2 weeks ago when Doncaster scored 30 points in the last 16 minutes. Anything within range, Bloom's got to have a crack at. This one eminently kickable, but he's missed 2 this afternoon. Well, he's not missed with that one, hasn't Bloom? Second conversion for Jamie Bloom. 20-point lead for Halifax. Halifax 26, Doncaster 6. That's now. So 10 points since half-time for Halifax. An ideal start for Anthony Farrell's men. Can they continue it through to the 80 minutes? Blackwood on the 20. Shows the ball. Stopped by Sean Leaf. Fisher to Wisner. Here goes Wisner, charging up the middle again, looking for that little chink of an opening in the Doncaster defence, not finding it though. Lawford fires the ball out. It's gone backwards, has it? Well, referee said it travelled forwards. Well, another boo-boo. They've got 8 points since half-time of Halifax. So they lead at 24 points to 6, not 26 points to 6, as Mills once again does damage, carrying the ball forward. Allroyd to Moana, turns it back inside to the full-back. He'll run at the Halifax defence, gets the ball away. Haley sticking to Craig Farrell. Left a bit on his own there, James Haley, to cover 2 men, but does the job admirably. Lawton brought down 19 metres away. Doncaster stacking men on that right hand side. Have they got the numbers? Halifax need to slide across. Moana gets it away, and somehow that ball stuck as Ireland palmed it on, and Danny Mills tries to go inside. Last tackle of this set of 6 with danger there for Halifax. They managed to get across. Allroyd's kick will test Haley. Haley is up to the ball, but not up to the task of bringing it in. He was under all sorts of pressure from Craig Farrell, I think. So this time there is a greater urgency for Doncaster, with the advantage 10 metres out with a scrum. Anford has dropped out and taken up a stand-off position, but he's bundled down a metre away. But how much is it taken out of Halifax, because they needed 4 defenders then. Runners there. Mills is stopped, and the posts are rattled by somebody as he settled back into a still position. Moana turns it back inside to full-back Ben Cockayne, and Doncaster lose metres, but will it be the third advantage? Will it give them a bit more room to work in? Allroyd fires it out wide, pressure on that far side, but that's defence on that far side. Blackwood and Sharif up to the task, but they need to get back into position quickly as Doncaster put the pressure on again, with Farrell trying to go through. Last tackle signalled by the referee. Halifax bundled all over the place. A desperate pass on that far side. Mills knocks it forward, and Sharif has got a clean pair of heels. Comes in midfield. Defence get back, fullbacks gets back, but Halifax on a bit of a roll here with men over on this far side. Black bringing Gibson back on the inside. That's surely not the right option, but they could still go down this side. Damien Ball's gone back up the middle, and it has allowed Doncaster to get back into the defensive line. Scott Law driving the ball up. Well, Halifax will be perhaps thinking there were 4 on there. They had a big advantage on this side. Black out to Bloom, and Bloom put down 15 metres away on the last tackle. Black will put the ball into the air and test the defence. Danny Mills on that far side. Blackwood goes up for it. The full-back Ben Cockayne clears the lines, diffuses the bomb. Danny Mills steps round Scott Law, steps round Wisner, and Halifax finally get to grips with him as Wisner recovers enough to bring the winger down. Mills drives the ball forward. up to the 30-metre line. Okay, Netherton on for Doncaster, but that's a great tackle from Blackwood on Marvin Golden. Well, it's certainly been one of the highlights defensively of this game was Blackwood against Golden. They really stuck it to each other when they've had the ball. Been a real test between them two. Last tackle, Doncaster at just about the halfway as Allroyd hoists the ball up again to test Haley. Haley's under pressure, but he's taken the ball magnificently, and surely that must be a penalty when Cockayne had a second go. The referee says play on. Fisher knocked off his balance, and Gareth Adford almost disappearing under the sizable prop there. Here goes Gibson away from acting half again, and that's key meters made for Halifax. Damien Ball comes off for Halifax, and Tuilangi goes on. Larder, route one up the middle. Halifax back in the Doncaster half, but it's the last tackle. Wisner, well, not the best of kicks from Wisner again, but Mills has just played the Halifax players onside by touching it with his foot, and he returns the ball about 12 metres. Ball fired out to Cockayne, who's doing the work for Doncaster as they seem to struggle to get back into line. Netherton taking the ball forward up to the 40. All right, long pass out wide. Good job, Farrell was stood back a bit, and Black has missed Farrell. Haley has got him at the second attempt, missed him the first time. Looking for the quick play of the ball as Halifax retreat quickly into that defensive line, and Miles is brought down on the 20, but it's the last tackle. All right, fires the ball out. Doncaster stacking men on that far side as Moana gets it away. Halifax trying to hold the defensive line. Sean Leaf manages to get it away, and Moana will get his second try. Well, it was the last tackle, and Halifax struggle once again with that initial break from Farrell. Halifax were always struggling to get back. Quick play from Farrell, and Doncaster moved the ball across. Made another tackle, it was the last one. Halifax still didn't get across quick enough, and Leaf somehow managed to squeeze the ball out in the tackle, and Moana goes over for his second try to move Doncaster into double figures. But more importantly, back within 14 points of Halifax. It's Halifax 24, Doncaster 10. Well, a try from Moana to silence Halifax crowd. Doncaster's second try, both coming from the former Halifax man, as Allroyd fires the ball between the uprights, and Doncaster back to within 12 points. So Moana and Allroyd with 6 in the first. Moana and Allroyd with 6 in the second, so far anyway. And around the midway point of the second half. So Bloom eating up time on the clock with a long kick. Moana underneath it, gives it to Mills, and Mills pushing the Halifax defence back. There's 3 there, but he's still got almost up to the 20. Danny Mills almost finding the gap there, and Halifax defence dropping off a little bit. Here comes Harland. Harland gets it away. The ball is pushed forward, and Bloom will regather it for Halifax. Will it? Well, the referee, Signal, is claiming for a knock-on, but Doncaster have got it back. Long ball out wide again. Halifax left wanting as Miles turns the ball inside. That one's a knock-on. As Bloom and Farrell make up after Bloom's charge after the whistle had gone. Still, those defensive frailties continue to haunt Halifax. It's just that little half a yard or that pass that comes out that makes a difference. That Halifax have some difficulty dealing with on occasions. But Doncaster knocking on. Lawford will bring Blackwood on the inside, and only an ankle tap by the fullback has knocked Blackwood out of his stride. Larder drives the ball up to the 20-metre line and draws 3 to him. 2 defenders quickly back into the line. Once again, there's 3 tacklers there. Once again, Doncaster slow to get up as Tuilangi barges his way into that Dragons defence and takes Halifax to within 5 metres, looking for the quick play. It's gone back to Wisner, but Wisner knocked on, no real pressure. Oh, I think possibly Wisner looking for the drop goal there, trying to put the pressure on Doncaster. Not the best of passes from Black, a little bit hurried, and Wisner having to bend down to pick up the possession. Doncaster quick out of the blocks, obviously had seen what was going on, but that one point would have put a little bit more pressure on Doncaster. As Moana just brushes Lawford aside. Lawford comes in with Larder at the second attempt. Marvin Golden inside to Danny Mills. Morley gets him at the second attempt with Wisner. Didn't have much effect into the shoulder charge. Hanford shows the ball. Morley goes over the top. Close to a high tackle as Mills goes forward, and Fisher tigerish round the legs and brings him down. Doncaster just on the 40 once again. They come to this side and they look for the short kick over the top. Miles, good run, but Ailey equal to the task this time as he tackles the winger. All right, last tackle. Halifax maybe struggling on that far side again, but Blackwood picks the ball out of the air from Allroyd's kick 12 metres out from the Halifax line. Sharif will go from acting half, trying to do a bit of the work for the forwards, and here comes Sharif again. Went round the first 2, got up and played the ball quickly. Doncaster still going back, would have been offside had they come this way. Gibson takes it back over halfway for Halifax. Sharif will have another go at the Doncaster defence. Brought down on the 40. 4th tackle. Black to Morley. Seemed to stop for some reason there. Last tackle. Back to Lawford. And Lawford as a tester for Mills and Golden. Blackwood comes up with it, knocks it forward, and his problems now because Cockayne has room in front of him. Lawford's got back to clatter him and force the ball in the tackle. Great tackle from Dean Lawford. Wisner looking for the gap, skip through 2. Wisner has looking for support from Sharif. Sharif for the corner, will Ireland catch him? Sharif steps inside, but that one down to Dean Lawford. Well, he's created tries with hand and foot this season, but it'll be one of the few that he's actually created with a tackle, dislodging the ball from the fullback, then picking it up and getting it away to Wisner. Wisner knew exactly where he was going then, and the defence for a change from the opposition on Doncaster. There was only one attempted tackle which Wisner seemed to skip through. Sharif in support and squeezing in at the corner. Wrong foot in Ireland as Ireland went over the touch line. Sharif went over the try line for the 5th try of the afternoon and his 16th of the season. Halifax 28, Doncaster 12. So Bloom's most difficult kick of the afternoon. From out on the touchline, giving it a thump, giving it a chance, and get it straight through the middle. So 5 tries and now 5 conversions. Halifax lead extends. Halifax 30, Doncaster 12. But still about 15 minutes to go as Moana goes up for the ball. Doesn't come down with it, but conditions may become a bit more difficult now as the rain begins to fall. Gibson looking for a way through, not finding one. Flattened by Craig Cook, plays it quickly. Jason Bolts back on for Halifax, takes it over halfway. It takes 2 to stop him. Haaland and Moana. Larder the runner for Halifax off a short ball into a solid defence on the 40-metre line. Damien Gibson injured by the look of it as Tuilangi pushes 3 back in the tackle and then tries to claim for the penalty. Lawford will put it in the air again. Ben Black is the chaser and Miles has come up with a mistake for Doncaster, but he's going to give a penalty to Doncaster, claiming that Ben Black was offside. All right, leaving the line for Doncaster. Well, I'm not sure whether Martin Oser actually expected that one. Seemed to have a late snap to pick the ball up as Anford runs forward. Looked like he had an elbow up there on halfway. Cocaine, the fullback, coming up and dropping the ball. Tuilangi takes it back over halfway, and the Doncaster fullback fancies his chances with Chris Morley. Touch judge on to split him up as Bloom makes sure he keeps hold of the ball. Aaron Wood trying to wrestle it from his grasp there. Jason Bolts driving the ball forward, bouncing off the first tackler, spinning away from the second, dragging himself away from the third and pumping the legs all the way up to the 10-metre line. And Tuilangi looks like it's a hand injury, and Jason Bolts left on the floor, and Doncaster have got the possession back. Damien Ball is back on for Halifax as their defence tries to push the Doncaster man with possession, which is Danny Mills back. Holroyd looking for options, gets the ball away, ball's gone loose. Haley will pick it up for Halifax. Nobody reacting, they're claiming for a knock-on, but James Haley will get his second try. There's nothing coming from touch judge or referee. Well, they said a knock-on, and the only man that appeared to knock on there was the Doncaster player. And the problem with Doncaster was they didn't react. Haley picked it up, played to the whistle, and helped himself to his second try. And Halifax is 6th, and James Haley stretches the Halifax lead once again. It's now Halifax 34, Doncaster 12. And now the slight rain has turned into an absolute downpour, and I think it's the temperatures have gone down somewhat as well, because that wind is it's a bit cold up here on the gantry. But Halifax supporters will be warmed by a further 2 points from the boot of Jamie Bloom. That makes it Halifax 36, Doncaster 12. So MacDonald back on for Halifax, using his feet to make sure the ball is stopped before he tries to pick it up. And Halifax playing against the elements now, because the rain driving into the face of the Halifax side. As Sharif gets away from one, can't escape the clutches of the second 2 defenders just short of the 40-metre line. MacDonald driving the ball forward, pushes away from the first and the second, and another rampaging run from MacDonald. Takes him 5 metres from halfway. Lawford will find space with a kick. It all depends on where it bounces and where it goes. And the full-back Cockayne was going to have to bring it away from his own line. And the chase is there for Halifax. Good chase by Ben Fisher. First man to the full-back. Marvin Golden to the 20, despite the attention of 3. So Halifax still not 100% in defence as Doncaster push it forward. They know that, they know what they're capable of from that result when they scored all those points in the last 16 minutes at Doncaster a couple of weeks ago. Well, I reckon about 10 minutes left as Allroyd goes for another 40-20, and Allroyd gets another 40-20. Well, it's G'd up the coach, St John Ellis, but Halifax will not be in a rush to get back to form the scrum, and Doncaster don't look to be in that much of a rush.
And this afternoon's cutting-edge carpet sit on the wall goes to Halifax number 6.
Allroyd feeds the scrum out to Moana. Now it's about safe hands. Here comes the full-back again, looking for a way through. Still going is Ben Cockayne. Put down 5 metres away, where they've made 5 metres from the scrum, which was formed on the 10. Anford pumping his way towards the line. Halifax holding out in defence. Once again, Doncaster dragging men across and stacking men over on that far side, where they'll now go with Allroyd and Moana. But Halifax have managed to get across to cover Aaron Wood as Doncaster lose 5 metres in the process and gain themselves a simple penalty. I think 6 to 1 half and the other there. MacDonald complaining that perhaps the ball was thrown out in the tackle. Halifax have sent men to that far side. Doncaster come to this side, and James Ailey, on a dry day, he might have been on his way to a try there, but the ball slipping through the arms as he went for the intercept. So Doncaster to attack the Halifax line for another set of 6. Allroyd. Miles sets himself up as a dummy runner. Moana at loose forward on a hat trick. Gets the ball away to Marvin Golden. But once again, Blackwood there initially all over Golden, and then the reinforcements are there to push the centre back at least 7 or 8 metres. Anford to Allroyd. Halifax taking the right man and not going for the full-back Cockayne this time as he chinked into the line as well. Osler escaping the clutches. Osler finally hauled down. Halifax looking to keep the line intact as Netherton goes from acting half and draws 3. Halifax light on that far side again. Lawford calling men across. Moana slips the ball away to the full-back, and Allroyd must be into score here. Well, he isn't, but Marvin Golden will on that far side. Once again, Halifax sucked in by the Doncaster attack, and Doncaster moving the ball out wide. Halifax not getting across on this occasion. And Marvin Golden touches down to make it Halifax 36, Doncaster 16. They've done it once.
Yeah. Come on.
Well, Halifax had numbered up prior to the scrum and stopped that Doncaster defence on that far side. But St John Ellis obviously seeing the weakness on that side. Halifax have been caught a couple of times with men dragged across, and on that time it paid dividends for Doncaster as Allroyd fails with a kick, and the score remains at Halifax 36, Doncaster 16. So Doncaster left with a big hill to climb, as they were at Doncaster a couple of weeks ago. They not only climbed it, they marched up it and planted the flag on the top when they'd finished. Well, can they do the same in the time that remains here? Probably around 5-6 minutes, maybe 20 points. A big ask, but well, Doncaster did it 2 weeks ago. Halifax pulled a rabbit out of that at Widnes last season in the playoff finals. So not beyond the realms of possibility in by today's standards. But Halifax moving in numbers in defence. They'll have to be careful how many numbers they just put in defence. Good tackle from Bloom, because they've been left light in defence a couple of times by the way Doncaster have attacked in this game. Here comes the full back again. Well, they've for once actually ragged pretty easily and put to the ground. Get some complaints, wanted a penalty. Allroyd threw the ball about a metre forward. McDonnell from acting half. Well, draws 3 to him, but he's happy just to keep the possession. I think he's a big prop. Bloom showed the ball. Netherton almost went for it then, and then took it back and got him. Scott Law driving the ball up to the 20. Wisner, the dummy runner. Damien Ball tries to go underneath the 2 tacklers, takes it to within 12 metres. Well, Halifax put the icing on the cake as Ben Black runs at the defence, pushes away from one, and then gives it to Gibson. He brings it back towards the post, skips through 2, looks for support. Was screaming for somebody there, had the arm free, only need to get the ball away. Fisher back to Lawford. Lawford thought about the drop, had a run, then got back in position, got the drop goal away at an awkward angle, and the one just drifted to the right hand side of the post. So a few Halifax supporters there thought that one was going to be a 1-pointer for Lawford. Cut down the options initially, but Lawford skipped away from the defence, but just couldn't find the target. And Doncaster already back at the 40 with Farrell up from acting half, and Halifax are offside. And a big 10-6 penalty count in their favour, and Gareth Hanford not waiting for Graham Allroyd. The turn kicker turned up at standoff in a move earlier when Doncaster had the pressure on, and now his turn kicker is nothing this man can't do. Netherton to Osler. Doncaster looking for the last word now, really. Netherton gets it away, and Haley was almost away again there. And conditions not assisting James Haley there, I don't think. Not the best of conditions to be taking the ball. Well, Doncaster played against Barrow in front of 680 people last week, which prompted the chairman to issue a warning about the attendances. Well, it looks like they won't be taking many to Wilkinson Rovers next week in the semi-final of the Northern Rails Cup. They've already lost to Hull KR once this season, and there's an awful lot to do for St John Ellis in his side if they've any hope of overturning Wilkinson Rovers in that match next week. But the most important thing this afternoon, as far as Halifax are concerned, is banish the nightmare of 2 weeks ago at the Earth Stadium, with in the end a pretty comfortable display as Wisner splits the defence once again. Asharif in support, holds the ball up, turns round once again and continues towards that 20-metre line, and Marvin Golden looks as though he may have conceded a penalty, as the rain absolutely teams down once again at the Sheikh.
Right, again, starts on sale after the game today. We do have the Super League Supercharged DVD. That's been sold from the supporters shop. And we do have Steve O'Brien County here this afternoon, and they will sign your copies if you do purchase them from the shop today. Though the retail price is $14.99, they are on sale after the game today for just £12 each. Amongst over 155 store charge from every gift Wilson against Bradford, Paul Rowley against London, and Martin Milano for Halifax versus Castleford. That's the Super League Super Prize DVD on sale.
Fisher puts the ball into touch. There may be 6 tackles left in this game. Lawford to Black, Black onto Damien Ball, and Damien Ball drops a shoulder, just can't get away from Craig Lawton. MacDonald, lifting the defender off the ground there. Looked like a bull lifted a matador as Sean Leaf was lifted cleared off the ground. Scott Law could cap a fine performance, stitching towards the line, just can't get the arm out. There was a Doncaster man there. Fisher goes for the ball, Doncaster have knocked on. Well, a scrum if there's time for it. I think these players will be glad to get off the field now, and Anthony Farrell will be a much happier man. The nightmare of Doncaster forgotten, an accomplished performance for Halifax. Although there were 1 or 2 defensive frailties, they got caught out wide a couple of times, but all in all a much better performance from Halifax. Back-to-back wins, now 8 points for the season. Plenty of action in the second half. Haley with a magnificent try, nothing doing when he got the ball, skip round 4 men in between the defence, put the ball down. Bloom converting, and then Bloom with a penalty which stretched Halifax's lead to 24 points to 6. Doncaster had faint hopes of a comeback with Moana's second try and Allroyd's second conversion, but Halifax kept the momentum going with a Sharif try after Lawford, a superb tackle when Doncaster fullback Cockayne went away on the counter-attack. Lawford made the tackle, picked the ball up, Wagner split the defence. Sharif finished the move off. Bloom converted from almost on the touchline, 30 points to 12. Haley, a second try, 34 points to 12. Bloom's conversion put nearly the coffin, 36 points to 12. Halifax's nerve held in the end this week. A late try from Marvin Goulden was a consolation for Doncaster, but in the end Halifax a more dominant team and deserving of the 2 points at the Shea. Halifax 36, Doncaster Dragons 16.